The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Friday Live, round 2. For those of you who were just watching live previously before our technical difficulties. This show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, premium supplements sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No artificial sweeteners or colors for men and women, vegan friendly. You can save 20% with discount code RybackShow20, feedmemore.com. Okay, we got that out of the way. We're not going to go back over the update over the blah, 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 scar tissue, yada, 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 yada. The little update. Great training session today. Nice little meal at Poncho's vegan restaurant for everybody listening to this on the podcast platforms. The details are not going to be there on this version. It was not hardwired. We were running on the internet. The thing was unplugged, and which is why we did not have a stable connection. And now the Ethernet is running wild, brother, and we are good. So deep breath. Hate losing time, hate throwing time away, but we're back. We're back on track, and everything is good. I got to go right after this, take the dogs for their little nightly walk, or otherwise the little guy is an asshole to me, and will proceed to nip at me in playful way and whine and moan. And so got to take him. I'm going to put a little bit of smackdown on, watch a little bit of the crowd, see what the crowd's reacting to, what they're not reacting to, which hopefully they're reacting to the majority of things. But I'm excited to see pro wrestling get back. I know it's on in other places, or it has already happened here, everywhere, East Coast, so Central. But so we'll see what's going on with that. And as things pick up back to normal in some places, and then, or if you're over in LA and then they're throwing masks back on people, so which you guys take your kick out immune system booster. I've not been sick in over 8.5 years. And reminder, guys, if you are healthy and you choose not to get the vaccine, you are not a bad person. Do not let anyone convince you of that. Otherwise, fully support everyone wanting to go get a vaccine that believes they need it. I also support people that don't want to get a vaccine. And never, ever in the history of mankind have healthy people who take care of their individual health been blamed for problems. Never. And they never should be, and they never will be overall by people with common sense and pure logic. All right? All right. We've got that out of the way. What's going on? What do we got going on, guys? Do we got any, I want to see your feet, says Dom is a toe muncher. Jesus, Dom. I've never understood. I was talking to a woman I know about that recently. I go, what's the deal with the feet stuff? I've never understood it. I go, what had to happen in your life where feet is the main thing that like turns you on? Dom, can you give me a little insight on this? What happened in your life, Dom, where you like all of a sudden be like, man, I need feet to like get turned on? Day is going well. Thank you very much. I really want to know about this foot stuff though, because I've never in a million years, like I don't, or 39 years, but I'm like, man, the feet on that broad. Oh, never, not once in any scenario have I been like, damn, those feet. No, feet aren't something that guys just go crazy over. It's some people. Clearly it's a thing. I'm not going to deny it's not a thing. It's a thing I don't understand. You got some people like Tony Atlas that like getting walked on with people like, and then you got other guys, you got like these politicians and businessmen that like pay hookers to walk on their balls with high heels. Like, what the hell happened? That just the pure joy of just sex in general doesn't do it for you anymore. You're like, hey, Tiffany, you got those 6-inch heels? Put them right on my balls. I've never understood it. Dom, I'm asking you, man, Dom, Your name is Dom the Toe Muncher. If anybody's going to educate me on this feet fascination, I feel like it's going to be you, Dom. Dom just got bored one day and just went all feet. Dom needs the feet to excite the meat. Yes, this podcast, guys, this episode is brought to you by Shell Shock, our extreme fat burner, our #1 bestseller. And we're actually dealing with, I'm going to have to change the labels on the next run because you're not allowed to call a product by what it is and what it does anymore. It's kind of like, I equate it, I guess, to like the he, she, her, they, like, I don't know what's going on in the world on a lot of things, guys. All I know is, though, you got to evolve and adjust in order to be a business. So the Shell Shock eventually will be called Shell Shock Weight Management Formula because that is okay to market. It's okay to market a weight management formula, but not an extreme fat burner. And even though the ingredients in the extreme fat burner are clinically proven to increase metabolism and burn body fat. But that is offensive. Not allowed. Jeff Bezos, the Amazon crew, Google, they don't. Facebook. Oh, no. Weight management for our heavy fellas out there that are sensitive. I don't need a fat burner. Fat burner? That's offensive. Give me 7 bottles, but call it a weight management formula at least. Jesus. I don't make the rules, guys. Jeff, you just ate 200 grams of carbs in one sitting. You're going to need to pre-order our 2 sweet insulin optimizer glucose support. The testosterone booster is another name I'm going to have to also adjust to male performance formula. That's actually being done right now with the label team for our next run of the big guy testosterone booster. You're not allowed, even though it's clinically proven, blood test proven to boost your testosterone. You can't tell people that. We got a super chat. Super chats are always encouraged. You guys just want to throw me money. I'll definitely answer your question on it. Freddie B Media says, have you ever refused to autograph an action figure for a fan? Rumors are some wrestlers do. Can you tell the difference between a scalper, an actual fan? If I've ever refused an autograph, I 100% have. And it not like, I wouldn't say never from a fan. Which, by the way, I do free fan mail P.O. box. No other wrestlers do that I've ever seen. I do a lot of things to give back. It was in an airport, and it was with the people that would bring their kids. Shawn Michaels talks about it. If you're a wrestler, you know what I'm talking about already. These people go to the airports, and they bring their kids with them that are young and keep them up for hours in the wee hours of the night into the early morning because they know the wrestlers are catching flights. You know, if you want to meet somebody, see them, I get it. Okay? But you got some people on this, they'll bring books of cards. They'll have 10, 15, 20 cards. I had somebody one time at an airport. This was I think it was in Miami for a pay-per-view. I got in the night before, flew in. I don't think we had shows. Like, for whatever reason, we had no live events. And we were fly into the pay-per-view. I'm positive. I know it was Florida. This guy had a book of cards and wanted me to sign like 20-something, 30 cards. And I just go, I'm not doing that, man. I already knew what he was doing it for. The guy's trying to just make money on it. And it was just, I just said, no, thank you. Well, the guy followed me and started talking trash, screaming. I mean, loud. And I just go about my business. I was like, I would love if somebody would like to physically, if he wanted to go that direction, because free pass, too sweet, brother. But never in a million years is that kind of guy going to do that. Very, very, to my, what's the word I'm looking for? I wish it sometimes would. But I had to get a cab and all the way to the cab, the guy, and then he went on social media and started just putting out all this random garbage. Little did he put out any facts on anything. And then there was one other fan doing the same thing at an airport. And it was early in the morning, and I'd take pictures with certain people. Sometimes I don't want to take pictures, and I don't want to, if I feel like, especially when I was on the road, if I was tired and I felt like I looked tired, I won't take a picture. I'd say, no, thank you. And I have every right, because I don't want a picture when I'm like, not, you know what I'm saying? And some people, like, because I don't have any fear of that, and I'm never mean. I go, no, thank you. And it's like, how, if you want to take that in a negative way, that's on you. That's not on me. 99% of the time I do it. I'm giving you examples of times that you don't and reasons why. But there was another fan that wanted to sign something. The moment I said no, thank you, it turned into fuck you. You want to be Goldberg, Skip Sheffield. Like, the guy just went complete psycho mode and just went into security, left, and that's that. But it has happened, but not. It doesn't happen a lot. And you guys got to remember, wrestlers, people in general, celebrities, you got to remember, you guys, there's one of them, and then there's potentially millions of people, if not more, that know them across the planet. And everywhere they go, the chances are there's going to be some sort of interaction. And you never know what's going on in someone's day. And also, you know, I go oftentimes by, the energy of how a person is. I've had people, I've had people that come up when you're eating that are the most polite, nicest people in the world, and they just give off a friendly energy. And it's then you got others that just come off the complete wrong way, and it's just like I could feel that energy right away on it, and I'm never wrong on it. Never have been wrong on it, and you can tell by how they react to if you say no, thank you. Nobody should ever get mad if somebody says no, thank you. It's not like, get the hell away from me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, thank you. People have the right to say that, and nobody owes you anything, right? And I think that's very important. But the majority of the time, most people will do that stuff. There's examples of things going on, and you know, even though I don't understand it, I've never asked for a picture autograph my entire life. I never will. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not something. You know, even I'm not going to, I love Arnold. I'm not going to be like, oh man, Arnold, can you sign? Like, it means nothing to me. I just would rather just have a conversation if that's what we're going to, you know what I'm saying? So, but everyone's different. I understand that as well. I just don't see value because I'm not going to take something and be like, oh my God, look, you know, I like it here. I don't need it anywhere else. Let's see. We got another super chat here. Let me go ahead and pull you on the screen, Clayton. I like to get the super chats on the screen. There we go. I found it. Clayton says, recently upped my weight for barbell bench press. I can lift the weight with good form, but I have a sharp pain in my palm. I wear your gloves. Any thoughts on solutions? Thank you for your help and time. And so what you're referring to, Clayton, and what Clayton is referring to, and when you're benching and you got the bar in their palm, it could be sitting. I'd be curious if it's happening in, and I would need, I do have a follow-up question on this, Clayton. Is it on both of your palms or just one? If you could just, in the chat, please, because that will kind of determine, what I say to this. I feel like, when you're benching, a good technique, I will say, hold on. Just my left palm. Okay. So I'm still going to tell you this technique. You might have a bruise on your hand, first of all, that just needs some time to heal. And I've bruised my palms where doing certain things have affected it. That would be my first inclination of things going on, is you possibly got some sort of bruise on your hand and maybe you were unaware of it. And the bench press is where that bar is sitting in your hand is triggering it. What you could try to do, in the meanwhile, when you bench, a good technique to do though for form is when you grip the bar in whatever position. Everyone kind of has a different position on where their ultimate strength spot is in the sweet spot for them. But wherever you grip the bar, a thing I learned from other power lifters is if you try to kind of break the bar and bend the bar with your hands. Like if you were going to bend the bar into you. So your hands are going like you're on the bar and you turn your hands in, it locks in your shoulders and you lock your scapula, your shoulder blades back. And that bar, when you do that, the position of the bar may sit in a little different spot where it's not pushing on that spot on you, would be my advice. Also, though, I think you may need to do some other things to wear for a while until that bruise eases up. Because if you're going to start moving some weight, that weight is going to be, it's just hitting that pressure point on you and that bruise. And you just need to give that some time. What you might need to do is more push-up stuff with open palms, where that area on your hand is supporting the weight in a more spread out area for the time being. And I don't know how long that will take, but I've learned with injuries and things, especially wrestling, you always get stuff you got to adjust, and you keep training, but you got to find ways to train around the injuries. And that would be my advice until that kind of calms down, because those things could take a minute. But what's happening is you're aggravating it over and over and over again, and it's not getting an opportunity to heal. Also, I would try to get some ice on that 2 to 3 times a day if you can, 15, 20 minutes to kind of maybe help speed up that process a little bit. Maybe some extra turmeric as well. Well, the battery's going low on the tablet. Can't anything go right tonight? All right. But that would be my suggestion on that, buddy. Boomer, I love to hear this. I lost 15 pounds from the best weight loss supplement, Shell Shock Fat Burner. Best ingredients. Thank you very much, brother. I love it, Matt. I love it when people get results and do the work. These things, I'm telling you, they're absolutely amazing. This is, I'm so passionate about this. I have no doubt where we're going with all of this by just giving you my heart and soul with all this on this stuff that has helped me so much, which makes it different than every other company. Yes, there's a lot of very interesting matchups in AEW. A lot of interesting matchups for sure. Sam says, by the way, the pre-workout definitely helps with my warehouse job. Thank you. Sam, I remember you talking about that. I love to hear it, man. I'm glad it's helping you and benefiting you. That's the point of them, man, and just finding a way to add them into your life and to make them work. David says, I used to bench press 500 to 600 pounds in high school 35 years ago, not now. Well, how much was it, Dave? I feel like that's quite the difference. There's a huge difference between benching 500 and 600, unless you were just, because I feel like if you just bench 600, you'd be like, I used to bench 600 in high school. This sounds a little bit like the knee story. I would have been an NFL linebacker if I didn't get that knee injury in high school. How much was it really, Dave? Come clean. Are you friends with Dom the Toe Muncher? Is this how you get into the feet stuff? I need to know this, because I was a big bencher. And there's a big difference between benching 525, 550, 6, and then you got those rare human beings, those big mofos that bench like 700. I don't count the people that wear the shirts and all that. That stuff adds hundreds of pounds. Don't get me wrong. I think it's crazy to support that weight in your hands regardless. But it was 500 Hewished. It was 600. I have no doubt you were a big bencher in high school. I just want to know the exact amount. Because that's like, I could say, I used to bench between 500 and 700. But if it was 500, it's not 700. That's for sure. Yeah, good question, Shiva. This is going pretty deep here. This is, do you think there are multiple universes each time you do something different? Like your execution is different from your thinking? And if we time travel, do we create different timelines? This is pretty deep Joe Rogan DMT shit you're talking about here. I think we're better off trying to just enjoy life and be happy, living our best life, trying to live our best life for us, for animals, for the planet. I think that the moment we die, that we will have a better understanding of and when I say die, I mean move on from our physical body to the next phase. I have no doubt. I think that life is far more complicated, and there's so much more going on. You just look at all the various life forms. I've always been a little bit shocked how we think we're so much different than everything else. And we are different in the sense of we have the ability to choose in the way that our brains work, right? But like physically, and you look at, man, like there's so many different life forms on this planet. And, I just think that it's far deeper than what we were meant to understand. And even if we think we have it figured out, we really don't have it figured out. So you could drive yourself crazy trying to figure out something that really there's no way to prove, right? So you could just where I try to draw the line on, like, I strive to learn, but for things that I actually can apply and put into my life. You've heard other people talk about, like, we're in a simulation and this and that. I'm like, look, some of the happiest people on the planet are the people that drink and do drugs all day. They don't have a worry in the world. Now, is that the most beneficial way to live your life to the extreme? No. But man, they don't have a damn worry in the world. Sometimes I think we could stress ourselves out by overthinking and being like, what you just asked. I don't know. All I know is what I know here on planet Earth, So humans we've got a wide range of humans. We have and we live in a time where there's probably more smart people than ever, and there's also more dumb people than ever. We live in very strange times. Yeah, there will be new flavors of protein and other supplements as well, yes. Oh, we're getting some decent questions today. This Friday crew, this Friday podcast is wild. We should do themed episodes with this. One episode's just solely pro. I like talking about everything all over the place. Talking about different dimensions, one time aliens, and then we're back to pro wrestling. And that hashtag hungry mindset, just all over the place. That's how I like it. Do I believe in aliens, or what are my thoughts on aliens? Yeah. I mean, I think it's silly to think that this is it. Man, I tell you, I would be thrilled. I would be absolutely tickled if the aliens came here and just took away all the dumb people. And they knew, and they were able to, like, in the bad people, and they just knew. And they had a rule book, and, like, clearly I'm not being touched. I'm a good one. But, like, the rest of the assholes, the bad people, Vince, done. Just zap them right there. Like Mars Attacks, just disintegrates right in front of our eyes. Mars Attacks, what a great movie that was. I love you guys too. What was my favorite thing to do in Texas? I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. Thank Bo Dallas for this one. Bo Dallas and The Fiend, damn Wyndham. They showed up to TV with a box of edibles. They had a box of brownies, and I don't know which one got them. It was a box of fudge brownie edibles, and we were in. I think we were in Dallas, and I had to drive from Dallas to, I think, Houston, I want to say Houston. And this popped in my head when you said, what do I think of Texas? What did I like to do in Texas? And I think this was in 2015-ish. They bring a box of these edibles, and Bo Dallas goes, "Hey, Ryback, you want some edible? You want some brownies?" And I go, "I don't know, man." And I don't like doing that stuff. But they had a huge box. I love those guys. They're two of my favorite people in the world. And they're like, come on. I go, all right, give me a couple of them. And he gave me a couple. He goes, don't eat them both, though, because they're strong. So in my head now, the challenge has been made. So my dumbass, as I'm driving, I get in, I timed it out that I get to my hotel, I'm in the parking lot, right? And I have the air on in the car, and I got these brownies, and I eat these brownies to time it, and I check in, and I get my bags all unpacked. And this was, I think, at the time I still was doing chewing tobacco. And so, like, I had it timed out. I'm going to take these two brownies, get to the room. I'll put a dip in, enjoy the dip, watch a wrestling match or two, maybe throw on the Pornhub. Who knows, right? You know, at the time. And you're on the road. And I'm in the hotel, and I go brush my teeth. And all of a sudden, I'm paranoid. I took, these things were strong. Those guys don't play around. And he did give me warning. But I don't think, oh, I'm a big guy. These things can't be that bad. I don't know how many milligrams they were. Guys, I laid in bed for 5 hours contemplating life of like things that had happened in the past, things I'd said to people, thinking I was like, wait, what was their reaction to what I said over this? And things I didn't even know that I even remembered. I barely got any rest going into the next day at TV. Oh, I was pissed. And I get there and I had to go get up in the morning and go train and just felt like absolute trash. That was a good memory of Texas. Those Rotunda boys, they don't play around with the edibles. I wish it was a better story of like we were out, but it was just me in my hotel room freaking out for 5 hours into the wee hours of the night in Houston, Texas. Mahmoud Eli says, Ryback, cut the BS. When you coming to AEW, we need you. I'm sorry that I needed a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement that's never been overcome in the history of mankind. I'm sorry. I'll cut the games, but have a little more patience, please. I'll shoot Cody another text to stay in good contact with him, guys. Don't worry. Okay. But you can believe all the dirt sheets and all the other things that you want to believe on things and certain people. And I'll just keep doing my thing. And when I'm ready, I'll be ready. But and hopefully, we'll make a shit ton of money. I will be the top dog again. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. Just be patient with me. I'm trying to just do something that's never been done before while all this other BS is going on. But hey, I'm a big piece of trash. Okay, I get it. I suck. Okay. Not you. I know you want me just to cut the BS. Quit. Can you just cut out with this fake shoulder injury, even though you've regrown all 5 discs in your back with 19 stem cells? Okay, guys. I'll stop the games. Those stem cells were all a work, guys. I went in for the procedures, had them put me under just to do it. I just like getting put under, getting a little bit of drugs. Sam, I did have 4 Locos. I don't recommend that to anybody. I don't go crazy often, guys, but when I do, I go hard in the paint. If I'm going to have a good time, I'm not like going to not, but like, oh, I'm going to have a couple White Claws and call it a night. Like if I'm going, like if I'm saying if we're like, if Dolph Ziggler's in town and I know it's game time, it's game time. I don't know how I'm getting home. All I know is I'm taking an Uber out. I'll get home eventually. I always have. No, I'm not getting a wrestling ring in my backyard. That cannot be approved by the HOA. The ring and with the dimensions of it are going to be very tight in the space that I have, and with the neighbors, it's not going to happen not at this property. Guys, I don't know who's going to win the Money in the Bank. They don't even know who's going to win Money in the Bank. It's going to change 10 times on the day of the show, and then people are going to go politic and get the finish changed probably. You know how many guys are in that match that are going to go talk to Vince after they hear what the finish is? Guys, that finish might not know, but they might not know that until the beginning of the match. Guys, come on. I've been to Chicago many times, yes. I love you guys too. Uh-oh. Mahmoud has turned full-blown heel on me. He goes, you should cut the BS. The only reason you got your injuries is because your constant botches. The only botch, Mumad, is the botch your parents made having you, my friend. That is one I wish you swallowed. But instead, we've decided to put another quality wrestling mark on the planet. Mumad, you are out of here. Good to see all of you guys. Let me see. Sam, for someone who's only been to Las Vegas once, what would I recommend to go do and see? I don't know. It depends what you like, man. I mean, I've lived here my whole life. There's so many things I still haven't done here. I'm a simple man, though. I got my dogs. I'm happy. You give me a gym, you give me dogs, a few other things. I'm a happy man. There's a lot of shows here. I would check out, the comedy shows. Carrot Top is here. I was saying the other day, I want to go see Carrot Top. I want to see Chris Angel. I want to go see Carrot Top. I've seen the Chappelle Show with Kevin Hart was on it. That was a few years ago. That was amazing. I would love to see. I saw Rogan and him were here. I would like to go see them. I like Joe's act and his show with different people at times. I don't listen to a lot of stuff, but I'll catch a few of his interviews or clips online too at times. I just think it depends what your budget is. I don't know if you like the Cirque du Soleil stuff. Mason Ryan was with them. I don't know what the deal is. All those people got laid off, I think, with everything going on with COVID. But I know he was here, which actually I got Alex Riley just texted me a little bit ago. I got to text him back. I've always gotten along well with all those guys. I haven't talked to Mason, though, in forever. I didn't even know he was out here for the longest time, but he's doing well. He was, from what I understood. Jesse asked, but I think as far as Vegas, man, there's stuff to do. There's stuff to do. It just don't burn yourself out. Pick one night to go hard. Go get drunk one night, recover by the pool the next day, and go pick a night where you go do something. I don't know. Let me see. I missed a question I wanted to get to. He asked, Jesus asked, hey, Jesus, how big is the vegan population in Vegas after California? Vegas has a high amount of vegan restaurants. Yeah, I would say I would be shocked if Vegas wasn't in the top 3 to 5 vegan restaurants in the world. I think it is a lot. Way more than I ever would have anticipated. The vegan population here is quite strong. I would say California probably is number one as far as that, but I think we're probably not far behind, especially with the amount of Californians moving out here. Damn, people, stay out of our state. This place is. I'm once again going through I got stuck in traffic for a long time today, driving across town. I'm going back through my phase of I want to sell my house and move to Montana. One of the guys I know was just in Montana posting, having a great time. And I go, man, you get even more bang for your buck up there. More land, can grow all my crops. I'll just put some other palm trees to make it feel like I'm here. Go live in Montana somewhere. I don't know. But it is definitely a strong vegan population here in Vegas. Yes, Fluffy Gabriel Iglesias is definitely funny. Do I speak Spanish? Mi español un poco, mi amigo. Not a lot. Let's see. Sam B says, I really loved your bully heel run. Me too. It was actually a lot of fun being a physical actor in that role. I feel like I do very well and very comfortable in that role as far as playing that role. And because I feel you have a lot of, you can make fun of yourself, and being a heel is a lot easier in that sense, especially with my sense of humor, that I'm very comfortable in it. And I think that really came across being able to play those roles. And we had people did a great job in all those segments. Do I reckon it could have gone the world champion route if Heyman hadn't gotten involved? Again, that wasn't going to happen based off nothing I did did not matter creatively how over I got or anything was doing. It was based off of my legal situation with them. The game was going to go on for a long time. And and there was so much other stuff that went on. The only way I think the world championship was going to happen, and the only reason why I even got the IC title was because they wanted me to re-sign the contract and sign over everything that I had owned to them. And I already trademarked, and then and having the website and starting everything, they wanted me to sign that all over, and I was not doing that. And when I didn't do that right away, they took the IC title right off of me, which is why that got cut short for people to know, which is fine. It doesn't mean I don't care about this stuff. I just love wrestling. I never got into, I'm not a big believer. And as far as for pro wrestling, I'm not a believer in the titles that makes your career. I think there are times when if you're in that role, the payoff as far as in fans' eyes. But like for me, I don't like look at myself any less like, hey, I didn't have that. Like to me, it's just all a decision of like guys in a room. And if you don't know, like I feel that me going out there and the reactions I got more than let enough people know that, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm cool. But I don't think that would have happened on that regardless of Heyman getting injected into it and stopping it dead in its tracks and then never going back to it. The only way I think the world championship was happening, which Vince Hen shook on, was if I signed over everything on that contract on the multi-million-dollar deal I walked out on. And that's where, and that would have been me being a mark, which people do all the time, and selling out for his prop and then giving away my brand and livelihood. And it wasn't happening because this means so much to me when I created it. And I've talked about that time and time again, why I'm doing what I'm doing, because it was a pivotal point in my life on literally establishing the hungry, feed me more mindset that's given me everything. And that's why with Ryback and all that, that's why I've won it. They're not winning it. They're losing because all I've done is just present the facts, and they lie, and they've been called out for being lying to the USPTO. But that would be the only way I think. And even then, who's to say he could have changed his mind, which he does all the time. So, what are my thoughts on Bayley's injury? People get injured all the time, guys. Unfortunate. I love Bayley, but she'll recover. Injuries happen. She's a warrior, and she'll be back in no time. There were no So again, I'm always fascinated by you people that believe this. So for years, there's been rumors there was an altercation at SummerSlam. No, me and Brock always got along great. And the altercations you're talking about is WWE would purposely leak lies about me throughout my entire career to try to damage the Ryback character. Brock and me never had anything but pleasant interactions. Brock used to use my workout bands all the time. And then we have talked about different interactions we've had. There was the deal, and it's documented on pay-per-view. I fought, I believe, Camacho, and it was who was formerly Donnie Marlowe from Florida Championship Wrestling, but he wrestled with Hunico as Camacho. And I fought Camacho on pay-per-view, and he was the first one to take me off my feet as Ryback on TV. And he did it with a forearm. And I told him, I go, man, hit me with that. I didn't want him to really hit me in the eye socket, but it happened. You tell a Samoan to lay it in, and they will. And it busted my entire eye. I was bloodshot and my whole eye was black for I don't know how long. That thing lasted for a bit. So that happens. And then the thing comes out that Brock Lesnar like beat me up backstage. I don't even know how something like that happens when there wasn't even like for something like that to happen, you would think there would be some sort of like altercation or no. And I remember I didn't read a lot of that stuff. I remember I would just see, and I just because you're so caught up in like I never was big on like looking at like what are they saying. This I just lived. I was so busy, but I remember on Twitter was the one thing, and I would take that off my phone for stretches at a time, just because that stuff. But I remember seeing some stuff. I go, what the fuck? What Brock? And then people thought I go, it's on the damn show of it, Donnie Marlowe whacking me in my eye. And or Camacho, sorry. So yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that, but I just know it. There were a lot of lies that were put out that I wasn't even aware of, and I've gone back and seen articles and things that are completely fabricated and made up. I mean, what am I going to do about it? Like I've said, they're not true. You can either believe the source or you can believe money marked dirt sheets that print lies for money. Like I don't know what else to say. So. Thank you very much, Nader. I appreciate that. Good to see you guys. Samaj, thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, thank you. The Ruffles video is now got another 1 million views video here on Ryback TV. I'm hoping that people that think the meme is like some bad curse on me, I can't wait for that to land me a chip steal. And I'm gonna be smiling all the way to the bank. Because it's gonna happen. Especially once I go back to TV. You know how many views the videos that my content is gonna skyrocket. The moment I get my social fixed in a lot of this and I go back, just watch. And all this content, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And I'm still going to do the food videos, which I love when people don't understand that I am the CEO of a supplement company that is doing very well in my life. And that I do these other things and have fun, but it all ties into my marketing and everything, but helping people as well and getting people to understand me, how they don't understand the freedom and liberty that I have because of the work that I've done to grow this brand and it's hustling. But they look at like, oh man, this loser does. I saw somebody that go, this guy went from fighting in WWE main events for the championship to doing food videos. And I'm like, we all eat. Do you know that it takes a little bit of work to actually turn on your camera, record it, and get the footage edited and put up onto your content? And also as a marketing funnel for your brand and supplements. I go, man, what a little slave employee mindset you have that you don't understand that. Block, keep doing my thing. What's your excuse going to be when I'm doing those videos still and I'm then on TV also doing even more work, right? You don't get it. So I am in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, Sin City. I apologize if you were hurt in the gym. I don't know what I'm apologizing to you for, but I'm sorry that you hurt yourself. It happens. And, obviously, I think when I went vegan and I noticed the inflammation in my body has gone down, I used to pull things and have more aches, way more than I ever do now. And I noticed that. I go, man, I used to be sore all the time, hurting, and I didn't, never anymore. Not to say it can't happen. Look at wood. But I think going vegan and dropping the inflammation has helped drastically in my workouts. I love Christian. Christian is awesome. Christian Cage. Yeah, some people will never get it. And that's why I say you don't stop doing the work. It's always, and so the people that shit talk now, like even if they you never alter what you're doing in your life. I never will in a million years. I know what my goals are and what I'm doing. I know why I do everything that I do. People can say whatever they're going to say. All I do is just block anything I think that is disrespectful or hate and negative energy or just a shit mindset. Continue to do, because what's going to happen is, even if those people, some small will convert over, you'll win them over, which is either way good. You don't put any energy into that, but those people will change their argument to something else. It will, oh, you suck. Oh, you botch. It's always something. The main thing is you have the ability to captivate their attention one way or the other. And that is a very, very powerful thing. And that's what you see like with people. That is something I feel I'm very, very grateful for. And you see that like with in the incredible athletes or like Conor McGregor and Tom Brady. Go look at their pages. They get massive love and massive hate, regardless of what they post. Tom Brady could post the most loving, funny video, and you'll have just these people, oh, this guy's better than you. None of your Super Bowls are legit. And I'm just thinking, like, what losers? Block, go about my day. But it's so if someone ever look, if you're blocked on my account and you don't know why, chances are I just saw a message you sent to somebody else that popped up on my timeline, and I just blocked you. Because I don't want to deal with the BS later on. Thank you for watching the Feeding Time food videos. I always have a great time doing those. Yeah, Tom Brady seems like a fun guy, man. I would love to have been on that boat getting drunk with Tom Brady after that Super Bowl win there when he tossed that trophy. I have no doubt if that trophy would have went in the water and that was deep, I feel like Tom could have got it back. Tom would have found a way. Somebody would have got it back for Tom. One of those linemen would have dove. Gronk would have dove in there and risked his life. Somebody would have get a bodysuit. They'd be down there. They'd get that trophy back. I get along. I never did I work out with Ronda. No. We follow each other on social media. I've always enjoyed Ronda. Her, I follow her husband, Travis, as well. And I'm very happy for them. And yeah, I enjoyed everything. I thought what she did during her WWE run was incredible, considering she didn't come from pro wrestling, and it's people are always going to critique or have their opinions on things. She performed at an extremely high level and did fantastic, I thought, and I thought she made it more exciting for everybody for that entire. And I think that was probably. If you look at the women's division then compared to now, I think there was certainly she brought a lot more attention to the women's division. So I think there's definitely, you got to give her, the credit. I'm not saying there's a focus on creative when she's involved, but her energy and presence warranted that. And I thought she did an amazing job. Nader, thank you very much, buddy. I just try to shoot straight. Not everyone's always going to relate or even agree with everything, but I live with no fear, and it gives me. I read and listen to a lot of audiobooks, and just process a lot of information. Keep an open mind, and always am trying to learn and better myself. And I think that if I could pass on some of that and maybe spark that open mindset to learning to you guys one way or another, in whatever area that's in, that I'm doing a little bit of good. So I do believe I believe my prime years are going to be in front of me as far as pro wrestling goes. I'm in a very, very good place right now, mentally and physically. So just got to get a few little kinks with his shoulder. And I mean, this is like even from a month ago where I'm at right now, massive difference. And I wish the hours I legit was on it for 2 hours the other night, an hour, took a little break and did another hour and then went to bed. And this has been going on for a long time. people aren't going to see that. People don't understand. I know, that's why I get very passionate and can get heated at times. People like I'm doing a lot to do this, and because I've been given a gift, and I believe I'm not doing myself any justice if I don't do everything I can with the favors I've been gifted to overcome this. Yeah, that jelly bean video. Thank you for watching. The bamboozle jelly bean video was. You guys, a lot of that too is acting and reacting, and I'll do it with the videos. When I'm talking, I think you got to get to know me, which is why I did this. When I'm trying to talk and be serious, I'm legit like being Ryback of being serious and trying to pass on relevant information. And then like a lot of stuff is I love comedy. I love acting and reacting. And I will see something and it's not how I would act in my, if I normally would see a woman walking by and if I was eating, I don't even say, oh, I bet that's a hooker. But when I'm on and working on the videos, I will say things that I think will elicit a nice reaction based off the circumstances of like in the moment. That's what like, so you have to learn. And if you watch the videos enough, you'll be able to see when I'm doing that and not doing that. And because it's, I believe that's the best way to be. And I do it even on here at times. Right. So. Thank you, Marcos. Vegan sucks. I would disagree with that heavily. I think you just got to take the time to learn all the foods. And I think too, when you do and you learn all the protein foods, and you also learn that we've been sold lies on how much protein we actually need. And that also our metabolism improves and we process fats and carbohydrates better on a vegan diet. I will take that to my grave. That I've noticed is the biggest difference. But you then learn, you become more compassionate when you start understanding what's going on in this world, and that we as humans have a choice where other certain animals and different creatures don't, right? But if you look at the largest, most dominant creatures on the planet are vegan on that. And for humans, we thrive off of that, and research shows it. And that if you learn the foods and learn that a lot of the stuff that you like is based off of the seasonings, and those same seasonings could be applied to a lot of the stuff you're eating already. There was nobody that ate more meat and steak, and I thought, I'd never be able to go without that stuff and chicken wings. I'm so happy now because I've seen the performance increase in every area on it, and the ability to build muscle and to see, and just mentally, just so much more at peace, man. And I really think it from eating all that death, no matter what the quality is you think you're buying, man, it's just a different mindset when you get away from it. But you got to understand we've been sold a lot of lies on it, and it takes a bigger man. It is not manly to torture and slaughter and kill other animals, right? And by the way, we do it to the weakest animals. So how big and bad and strong are we really, right? It's not like we're out there hunting alligators and for survival, fighting for our lives. We literally pigs, chickens, cattle, right? How tough are we? This is a pretty decent question. And I can already tell you it's already fabricated. And I've already talked about this, but I'll tell you again exactly what was going on and give you the exact truth on this story on this. I heard in an interview, I believe it was what's his name? You asked Vince McMahon to let you off for 2 years with pay so you could train MMA, and you asked him to pay for it if there's any truth to this. So yes and no. Was not nowhere, not, I don't know where the 2 years came from on this. So this was at the very end of WWE. So this is when I'm going to take this off the screen. This is when I knew I was really, really hurt, and I was already beyond frustrated. This was during the contract stuff, I believe, was already going on. But this is so, what this direct meeting was me and Mark Carrano actually came in with me, Vince, and Mark Carrano was sitting over in the corner. He didn't say a word the entire time. He's just in there, probably in case thinking because I was hot, thinking maybe, I don't know if they thought, and security's always out there. I don't know if they, he was just seeing what's going on. I'd already talked to like Hunter, to the doctors, to people. I was telling them how hurt I was without trying to I wanted them to send me for MRIs. Nobody, they didn't, it wasn't working. And I wasn't going to take myself, when you're in that mode and that working mindset, you don't take yourself out of it. It's just what happens to wrestlers. And it's stupid. But you get in a spot, and I was in a very good spot, by the way, in the car. It would have been in a better spot had I stayed, despite the way things had. And so I came up with a storyline to Vince. I needed time off. Ultimately is where this whole thing was going. But I couldn't tell them I needed time off because I was hurt. I was just thinking in my head, and this is when I left even, I thought by not wrestling, my body was going to heal. I didn't know I needed a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement from all the cortisone they were pumping in my shoulder with all the Toradol for my back. So I came up with a storyline for me where it would time out for WrestleMania or whatever it was, which people pitch storylines all the time. I needed time off, and it was for 6 months. Not 2 years, where we'd get footage while I was home training MMA. Really, though, needed time off to get my body better. And I was already training MMA, by the way, doing all this while I was there. It just would have been, we get the footage of that's the storyline, right? But I needed time off from wrestling every night because I thought that would allow my body, my issues to heal. How wrong I was on that. So that was where I came up with that whole storyline for, was to get me time off. It wasn't me. I don't know where the 2 year, that's Jim lying about everything as he always does to try to make himself sound like he's intelligent and right on the situation. No facts whatsoever with any of that. So that's the exact 100% truth on the matter of where that even came from and what happened. But what had happened as I caught the WWE, they were pulling my merchandise up at the stands on TVs. And that was another part of that meeting with Vince. And I caught him. I went up there multiple times, and they had all my merchandise in box stuffed away that was supposed to be hanging up on the racks and being sold at the time. I believe it was my blue. I always had the chains and the armbands, and they had all of it hidden off of that because of the contract stuff going on. So there was multiple things that I was in there for. But I was trying to get time off without saying I need time off. My body's fucked. Because the moment you say that, you're in they're going to protect themselves on all that. And it's just kind of a wrestler thing, which Jim would have no idea about that because he's not a worker in that sense, right? He's this, and that's all he'll ever be with that melted candle body. And it is what it is. But that's the truth of exactly what it was. Is for 6 months, and I needed time off to heal. And also, yeah, let's do this storyline because I want that match. And I think that match will deliver. And I think that adds more believability into the match with that, while I was really just trying to get time off, though, to heal my body, which obviously wouldn't have worked. And I realized that when I left, and after I gave myself time off, and it went the opposite direction. And then I went and got the MRIs on my back and shoulder and got 2 doctors' opinions. And I was told that I was done and I needed a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement. Yeah. Then the life got really, really interesting. And that's where the stem cells came in. And I knew that at 34, if I went that route, it was game over. And here we are. And now we're, with going back, hopefully sooner rather than later with everything going on. So, but that's the exact 100% truth of it. So you can believe him or you can believe the actual truth. The choice is yours. I know a lot of people will believe him, and I will question your sanity and your intelligence for the rest of your life. Thank you. Yeah, I still watch a little bit of the wrestling. I watch a lot of AEW. I'll catch some stuff. I'm going to actually throw SmackDown on here a little bit when I'm done recording. Thank you, Umer. I appreciate it very much. Rick White asked, have I ever been in a bar fight? Yes. So I bounced when I was younger at a bar here in Vegas, Brewski's. There wasn't a lot of physicality at that one. That one was I got that job was pretty sweet actually. Nobody tested me in there. I got paid. They cooked me chicken and rice 3 times a night. Occasionally, they'd let me get drunk with all of them, and it played a lot of golden tea. That was maybe the best job of my life. That was in college. That was the God. What a sweet ass job that was. Man, that was a good job. Thinking back, Jesus, why did I get into wrestling? My tablet went out, so the Instagram stream is now over. That we're not going to be able to post. Damn it. But in Louisville, I worked also at 4th Street and had a few physical altercations of mainly choking people out to get rid of them. But I had to be pretty careful. There was one guy that I really had to rough up a little bit, but not the cops were always there. Cops were awesome with me, by the way. And I knew a few of them. So there were a couple situations though that I probably was a little more physical than I could have turned it over to them, but the person deserved it wholehearted. I always was, and again, I'm pretty laid back. It takes a bit, but the moment, threaten, I gotta turn it on. So, but never going out personally. Like I don't put myself off, obviously, in those situations of going and getting hammered and being in situations where, where not a lot of good is going to come of it. What else we got going on, guys, before we wrap up? I love you guys too. I thank you guys all for the love and support. TikTok, always appreciate all of you guys. With that, guys, we're actually going to go ahead. We're going to wrap up with that. I got to get a few more things done here for the evening. I appreciate you listening. As always, we'll try to get you on a weekend show here, maybe even Saturday and Sunday if there's time. And because I took a few nights off this week. I had a pretty busy week, so I can't always record when I want to with certain things going on. And the supplements take a lot of work and a lot of emails. And we're doing stuff with getting the supplements tested and put on Amazon and with another company that's really going to be promoting the brand that is going to be, I think, very, very key in the future growth for Feed Me More Nutrition. So, but as always, you can save 20% on Feed Me More Nutrition with discount code Ryback Show 20. Check us out on feedmemore.com, guys. I always appreciate your love and support, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Have a good one. Stay hungry. Feed me more.